For the Christ breathe. Don't have to carry no more weight up on my shoulders. Now I'm finally free. Finally, oh yeah. People talk that what they do and what they say can't stop my moves. Let me say a thing or two about what God can do for you. I know He did it for me. I know that He'll do it for you. Because I am living proof of what my God can do for you. People change, but my God won't change. I weather the storm with a smile on my face. Singing hallelujah is the higher praise. Lord, I want to thank you for another day. I've been changed. The angels in heaven shine my name. Gave my life to Christ and now I'm finally free. Anything I need, my God provides for me. I just want to thank you, God, for loving me, taking care of me and my family. He took the shackles off my feet, now I can dance and now I'm finally free, finally free. This was for the people in the world who believe in Jesus, believe in Jesus. He took the shackles off my feet, now I can dance and now I'm finally free, I'm finally free. This was for the people in the world who believe in Jesus. I'm feeling good, I got the monkey on my back and now I'm finally free. I gave my life over to Christ, it changed my life and now I'm finally free.
Can you hear me?
All right, hello. Welcome back to another star-studded episode of the Chatterbox with King Jacob. And I am yours truly, King Jacob. So tonight we have a special invited guest, and we're going to be talking about domestic violence and self-love. And how do you regain the self-love after you go through something like domestic violence? So without further ado, I'll let my guest introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shamika Williams. I'm originally from Flint, Michigan, but I reside in Memphis, Tennessee.
All right. So when people want to know who is Shamika Williams, what is that answer? I know a lot comes with that answer. So what is that answer? What type of answer do you have for them?
I don't know. Shamika is a small town city girl. She's born and raised in Flint. Household of 4. Mom and daddy been married for 48 years. So I was raised with both parents. My mom now is deceased. But Shamika is just Shamika. She's just a normal girl. Well, a woman, I should say. And just looking to go.
As far as that goes for you, tell us about your story and you know, how did you overcome?
Well, I have several. My first one started when I was in middle school, going into high school, by my high school sweetheart. We met in the 6th grade. We were high school, middle school sweethearts up until I graduated high school. Even with that, it was just nobody thinks about hitting and domestic violence while you're in school, especially by another student that you seem to be with. So no one really looks at that when you're in.
And so upon you having that story, you know, what happened to all the obstacles that you had to overcome?
You're breaking up.
All right, sorry about this. My internet. All right, so can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so upon you going through those trials and tribulations, you said starting in middle school, and so what actually happened in middle school?
So the middle school went to from not wanting me to talk to no one, from dating, from me lying to my parents saying that, I was falling, getting these all type of different type of bruises, and just pretty much lying to my mom and daddy about what was really going on. So it kind of stayed consistent after so long until I got into the next relationship, which was my child's father, which was a little bit more in depth. Had a baby, didn't want me around anybody, tried this throwing me down the stairs, constantly calling the police. Nothing was really happening. So with me, I'm thinking, that how it's supposed to be. I never seen my dad treat my mom like that, so I wasn't used to it in the house. But my dad was always at work a lot, so all I had was really my mom. So for me, I think it was just missing my daddy's attention, the love from my daddy, because he was always at work. So I'm thinking that's just how it's supposed to be treated. After I got out that situation, I ran into another one, which was more so violent than this. Now I have 3 children, and their dad was doing all different type of stuff. How I end up in Tennessee was he tried to run us down. He parked us in a parking lot, wouldn't let us out the parking lot. End up calling the police. My sister and my mom came and got me, took me to the police station, did a police report. With that, end up taking my car one day and I end up walking to work. I was pregnant with his other child. When I mean I walk to work, I mean I walk to work from where I live, city of Flint, from where I work, which is the city of Fenton. If you're driving, it's probably like maybe an hour. On feet, it took me, I left at 7 o'clock that morning. I didn't get to work till 4 o'clock that afternoon. The boss that I had originally at Target, she was calling my mom, calling my dad, was like, hey, Shamika okay? Have we seen Shamika? I never said anything. When I got to work, my feet were so swollen. My boss had already knew what was going on. She gave me 2 choices. She said, either Shamika, you live or you die. Where did you want to go? I had 2 choices. I had Colorado to go to, and I had Tennessee to go to. I live in Michigan already. There was no point in going somewhere that already had cold weather. So I chose Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Got to Tennessee. We knew nobody at all. We left with literally $200 and the clothes on our back, and a couple clothes that was in our car. From there, the shelter, who was in the shelter for probably like 3 or 4 months. I ended up having my son while I was at the shelter. I met a couple good people that's there now. One lady's name is Marquita Odom. She's a YWCA. And then another lady named Laura Taylor. Because I was ready to give up. Even with being in the shelter, it wasn't what I wanted. I felt like I was out of place. I was displaced. I wasn't comfortable. Didn't know nobody. I'm in a whole new city. Don't know no one in here. So it was a different experience. But I can't. It was just a lot that really happened to overcome that situation with having 4 children, 3 daughters, and you never your daughters to see no type of man or no one really hitting you. The oldest one that I've had, I think I hurt her a lot with letting different men abuse me, and I'm her mother. And that was something that I never wanted her to see. But unfortunately, she saw it growing up, and I just want her to say that's nothing that like never. Like, you never let anyone mistreat you, their hands on you, or do anything. So with that, in the midst of all of that, I started a nonprofit organization called Let Love Lead, which is, it consists of me and my kids. We do give back to we have domestic violence events. We just really give back. We do it sometimes twice a year. We try to do it at least twice a year. Sometimes we do it once a year. We do it for the month of October, and then we'll try to do it for Mother's Day, and Valentine's Day. And it's just really women who've been victims of domestic violence. A lot of people don't think men get abused, but they it's more men really than women, actually. But no one really looks at men getting abused. But there's some men out there that get abused by women too, and there are other significant. In the midst of me creating that, my mom passed. I met a man, hadn't known him probably for not even 3 months, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
My mom passed. We were talking. He flew to Michigan when we buried my mom. I bounced back into another situation that I shouldn't have. The day before my mom's funeral, the man literally beat me until I couldn't walk.
Wow.
At the time, I wear locks, so I'm locked underneath. The man literally drugged me around the hotel room. He had patches of hair. I couldn't walk. I was sore from my mom's funeral. My face was swollen. My eyes were red. I saw my face where I had to cover with, of course, makeup. My kids didn't know none of this. They just thought that I was just upset from my mom's passing. Found out that he wasn't who he really was. He was snorting cocaine. I found that out later. He still had a girlfriend. Everything started coming to my phone once I buried my mom. And that's when it became worse. After I buried my mom. He would tell his girlfriend, like, why she ain't dead yet, make her die. I was getting girlfriend, like, why she ain't dead yet? Said that I didn't have chemo, that I was sick, and I was eventually going to die. Everything that I had that they were going to take from my kids and take from me. It was a lot. But then one day I woke up. I think I stayed for 8 months to help my dad out because I didn't want to lose my dad. My parents had been together since they were 13 and 14. So the old school saying is, if you lose one, you bound to lose the other. So I went back home for a couple months because I just didn't want that to happen. I didn't want to lose my dad. Stayed up there with me for a couple months. One day we was going to work, and an old friend texted my phone. That was my wake up call. When you hit me and I'm driving, and I gotta literally try to get out of ongoing traffic, not to crash my car or kill me. That was a wake up call. And it was a wake up call that I would never forget. I let my dad. It was time for me to go back home. That Flint was no my home. It just was a place that I grew up. But Flint is what not made. I had to mature literally in Memphis. It's where I had to. With no family. I had to grow on my own and get myself out of certain situations that I was in, and the only thing they could do was laugh. And to me, being hit and beat is not fun.
Right.
The life death situation, and in mine, it was more so seeing death.
Right. So you've been through a lot, you know, as a woman, as a mother, and you're still here. So that is a blessing. So for other women that's out there that's going through it, and for for people who don't know what domestic violence can do to a person, as far as the anxiety, the depression, and the signs that it's coming, you know, the body language. So can you break down those type of things so you know you can definitely let people know and just try to inspire people to, you know, um, don't let this happen to you, because the signs be there beforehand.
Well, I can say some signs are not always as there. It
Right.
just kind of depends on the situation. Some of my signs were, for one, if they lost their job and then they got real mean or real rude because they're going through something, take it out on someone else. So sometimes the signs are not always there, but you can feel when it's coming up that something happened, a major loss, or something transpires in someone else's life. But I will say, people think it's easy to walk away, and it's really not. Two of my friends that are dead because of it. Because they went back and couldn't get away. They were stalked. When I mean stalked, I mean they were trailed, stalked every single day of the week. And the words for me, when someone tells you, if I can't have you, no one else can, those are true words. They will make those wishes come true. So it's not as easy as people think it is to walk away. I literally have to jump states. I am 775 miles away from where I was born, where I know I cannot be got, where I know I can't be touched. It's not like I'm jumping for that. The past, like for the couple months that we did move here, I will always see one, and I always jump when I saw that vehicle, and I had to realize I'm not safe, so I know they don't know where I am. But even with that, it plays a part of it. The anxiety. You jump, you can't sleep sometimes, you're crying, your head is always held down. I think I held my head down for like years. Like right now, like I'm talking face to face, I would have never did this if it was like 4 years ago. I will always keep my head down. I will look at the floor. I will look at the ground. I will fiddle with my nails. It was always something that I was doing not to look up at something, because I felt discouraged. I didn't feel like myself. I felt like I was ugly. I felt like I was nasty. Like I feel like I wasn't deserving. That's how I felt. So when people say it's easy to walk away, it's not easy to walk away. It takes a lot to walk away. Like jumping states, making sure nobody can find you, even changing identity sometimes you have to do. Because I changed my last name. My last name wasn't Williams for a long time. And I would catch myself, be like, hey, can't go by that name, because you never know who's going to get you, what family member is going to point you out and say, hey, that they're there. When I was doing certain interviews, I would always want my face to be blacked out. Wouldn't let nobody know, my location where I was. So it took a toll on me. But now, getting over that, my daughter's 18. Like this past 2 years and a half, I've been okay with showing my face, walking with my head up high, being out in the public, giving back like I'm supposed to. If we go live or record it or taking pictures, I'm okay with that because I know now I'm away from it. And I can say that I'm still here. Like, I'm not dead. I'm not taken away from my kids. My kids are still here. And it's a good feeling. It is. And it's a good feeling to, when you walk back into the shelters and you stand in front of people, you stand in front of schools, and you're in public. I'm okay with telling my story and saying that I'm
here. Okay. And so with that being said, how did you go through the healing process, and how long did it take you to heal?
So I tried to do my healing process on my own. It didn't work. I tried the healing process with my daughter. It didn't work. Sometimes she's a child. It's only so much you can tell a child. You want them to stay always in the child's place and not endure what an adult has to, deal with. I tried to do the counseling in a group session. Couldn't do the group session. It was too much. I felt like even though I was in a group session, I felt like I still was being judged in the group session because certain people would say certain things, and I'm like, well, you don't understand because you haven't been in that spot. And when I mean the therapy and the group session, it was everything. It wasn't just domestic violence. It was mental. It was people who had lost relatives. We all had different stories. So it wasn't a good healing process for me. Then I tried the one-on-one sessions. I tried with a male therapist. I felt like I was being belittled, and I felt like I was being judged again. So then I stepped back, and I tried to find an inner circle, which consists of people that I had met in the shelter. Tried to, talk to them and kind of befriend them a little bit, but that didn't work. So when my mom passed, I tried to both healing processing. Didn't work. I was on antidepressants, and I was drink wine. I like wine, and I started self-medicating myself, and I was medicating myself every single day. I was taking my antidepressants and drinking. I would think that I would be seeing while I was, under the influence. I really wasn't seeing, but I was thinking I was, and I would just try to get to her. I thought I saw her when I was medicating. And then one day I blanked out. And when I blanked out, I ended up in the hospital. And doctors came to me and the nurses talked to me and told me if I didn't get on track, I would be dead. Because I kept self-medicating. I have a real good job, beautiful kids, and I don't want that to be taken away from me. I didn't want my kids to grow up without a mom. They're not in their life, so I didn't want them to be out here trying to raise themselves. So I had to wake up, and when I did that, I put myself back. I put myself back in therapy. I did one and found a female therapist that would understand it. I felt understanding wouldn't be judgmental. She gave me some tasks to do, so I journal now. So that was a good way for me to get everything out because I was holding so much in, and I was holding everything in that I would clash out and lash out on everybody that came in my path, and I was losing people because of it. When I got to that point, I would tell people, I don't care who come and go. Like, my mama's gone now. You can't tell me what to do. And that was my attitude for so long. And when I started losing people that I knew was close to me, that I really, truly cared, I had to stop. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she gave me the number to the suicide hotline one night because I was literally laughing at her. Like, I told her I didn't want to be here off without me. I seen her cry. It made me. My mom's already. Why would I want her to? So when I got therapy, I apologized to my daughter for everything that I did because she grew up with me. I had her literally fresh high school, so she's been right there. Like, there's nothing she can't really tell me that I can't tell. That's how long she's been. But that was my backbone right there. Outside of therapy and her, those were my two backbones. Those were my pushes to get through life.
Okay. So we're gonna read this comment. I'm so proud of you for sharing your journey. I would never known because you always wear a smile and it's and always in such good spirits. So people are inspired by you. You know, they will never know that you went through all that you went through because your smile is so vibrant and so bright. And so, you know, when you hear people say that, you know, how does that register in your mind?
It feels good. I don't tell people a lot. And the reason why I don't, my daughter tells me to cry. Now, I just don't tell everybody everything that to use back against me. Or I don't judge, or I don't want to be looked at different. So I don't say much. So I just move along daily. So no
Okay.
one.
I love it. I love it. So I'm glad that you're sharing your story. And so going through that healing process and you self-medicating yourself. So you went through a really deep depression and had a lot of anxiety and you know and your mentals was all over the place. And so upon you going to therapy, you know, what are some of the techniques and 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 the lessons that was learned going through therapy? Because we, us black and brown people, we often think that we don't need therapy, and we often say that, you know, I'm not gonna sit on nobody's couch and tell them my life story. Like why would they want to hear what I have to say? Like why would they want to hear my problems? And we hold these problems in so much until, you know, it's like pressure busts the pipe. So, and when you explode, the people that really love you genuinely are normally the people that get it, and that sends them through a down spiral and anxiety and depression because they love you so much and they don't know what they're going to do. And as you said, your children, you know, your oldest daughter, she grew up with you, so she didn't know what to do. And so how did therapy help both of y'all?
She went her own. From when she was smaller, you know, of course we had to go. But she went through a stage when she was in high school. I didn't know what was wrong with her. She wanted to kill herself. She was trying to commit suicide. It was a lot with her. And it really backfired from me. What I was doing, what I was going through. And she felt like she didn't need to be here. She felt like I would be better off without her. So she did her own therapy session. But of course, some stuff that was talked about in her therapy session had to come back to me because I was the actual parent of her. Everything kind of kept private. But with her, I think for her, she graduated early. High school graduated from Saginaw. Her prom and her graduation, I think were the first times that I actually seen a big happy smile on her face. And it put a smile on my face because she was going through what I was going through. She was dealing with what I was dealing with. She felt when I was sad and I felt when she was sad. And if I was sad, she wasn't happy. She was always quiet, crying. She wanted to be removed from earth like I wanted to be. But when she started going through her own therapy session, through my own, we were separated. We both were getting things out that we needed to get out. She let her counselor know what was going on her end and how she felt about me, and I let her know what was I felt about her daughter. So with those two big things, big accomplishments that she had while she was in high school, it put a smile on my face because I knew she was in her healing process. While she was in her healing process, I was in my healing process, and we was getting through things together. Some things we didn't share together, like, even still to this day. We'll write like little. We don't always say it out of our mouth. We'll write a little note to each other, tell each other how we feel, or she send a text so we can see it. Because neither one of us are good with our mouth. We'll
Okay.
tell each other now, but it doesn't always physically come out because she's emotional and she get very dramatic with it, and I'm the same way. We try to not make each other cry. we'll write down to share with each other. But we're getting through it. We're better now. Let's say if this was 2-3 years ago, we probably wouldn't even be smiling. We probably wouldn't even be that we're in now. She's more vibrant now. She talks more. Because it was one point in time she wouldn't talk to nobody.
Well, that's good though that y'all can journal and y'all can write, because writing is very so therapeutic, and so that's good that y'all can compare notes. So maybe one day we can see y'all write a whole book together, because y'all went through it together, and I would imagine that would help her out a lot as well as to help you, because y'all writing from a place of a mother and a daughter, and two kindred spirits that went through this together, that was able to overcome, through the wisdom, the knowledge, and the love of God. So, and you do have a comment on the screen if you can read. So I know this is one of your people.
You're one who has been through his own.
Okay. See, people love you. See that? Yeah, they love you. So your people are pouring in. They're coming in and they showing their appreciation, their gratitude, and their respect level for you. So that's a good thing. So even when you can go through something, then you can keep someone else encouraged and someone else inspired. We have to inspire to stay inspired. So that's a great thing. And so you start this nonprofit, and the nonprofit is you and your kids, and so tell me what the nonprofit means to you, and tell me, how do you want to impact the world through your nonprofit?
So for me, I want women in the community to know that it's okay to tell their story and share what they've been, and let someone know what they're going through. You don't always have to hide it. Even I did mine for so long. Eventually, I want people to start, speaking up, saying what they're going through, because I want their spotlight. If they have kids or significant others that they really just truly love, I want them to be around to just see those special moments. So when we do things like we tell our stories, and we just want them to know that there's someone who still loves them. They know them, or their friends or strangers or not. I want the women and the men to know that still loved by, whether you know it or not. Like, have a reason you have to still living, not to ever just be here. Like, because there could be someone going through something worse than they are. So I just really encourage them that it's okay, to let someone know, hey, I'm not comfortable in this situation. Can you kind of help me? Is there something you can do? Like, even with just me, even if they don't know me, my arms are always open. I don't know how many people that I've referred, and just because they didn't feel comfortable and they was ready to go. And so that's kind of what I just want them to do. Like, I want them to know that there is a helping hand somewhere. Like, no one is up to you.
You heard it first. Ms. Williams said there's a helping hand. She's just a phone call away, just an email away, just a text message away. Just reach out, and we'll be talking more about a nonprofit when we turn back from these important messages. Right now, we'll be listening to the sounds of Too Smooth out of Mississippi. So we'll be returning in just a moment.
I'm tired of lying, and it's getting plain to see.
You want to come on here with me?
I done tried hard to deny, but this woman changing me. Might go to the clubs, but I leave kind of early, and I don't drink and drive, but cook and jive, so my woman ain't gotta worry. No. See, I can't be playing with her heart or playing with her mind. We ain't getting no younger, can't play with my time. And I know she miss me and can't wait to kiss me. So I might be hit by
my man, Too Smooth out of Mississippi, he said he might be in 10 by the night. You don't got to worry. He gonna be there. That real love. That real love when she make you come home early. When you tell the homeboys, oh bro, I gotta go, bro. I can't, I'm a family man. I can't hang out there late. So that's that real love. So we're talking about the nonprofit and we're talking about growth, healing, self-awareness and loving yourself as well, as we touched on the domestic violence and things that you went through. So how do one that go through that domestic violence and when they done went through the anxiety and the pain and the emotional abuse, the physical abuse, the mental abuse, the financial abuse, and how do they regain that self-love, that self-awareness, that self-value, that self-growth? So what is the process of regaining that and understanding who you are and finding a new you?
Ooh, it's hard. I would say who don't have a church home, don't know the Lord, that's going to be their first step. That's going to be actually their first step. Because I lost all of that. I stopped going. I was like, this man don't love me. I'm crying to him. He's not hearing me. Asking for signs. I don't see nothing. And that was my first step. I had to go back to where I knew that I was going to get that love from. Which was the man upstairs. Because I was being deteriorated away. I was being told he wasn't real. He's not going to do anything for you. It was a lot. So I had a nice church that I was in. I was going to bread and wine. I love the church. I love my pastor. I love being in the choir. But I felt with that, that I wasn't being taught. I felt like I wasn't being listened to. I felt like I wasn't getting the word what I needed. So I stepped back and I went and found me a smaller church home. And what I mean by a smaller church home, I mean it's about 30 chairs.
Okay.
I have a down-to-earth pastor and first lady. They're not judgmental. You can call them whenever, middle of the night. And they're really encouraging. They always tell me don't use the words try. Just go ahead and do it. So that was my first step. And those two right there are actually the owners of my suite that I had for my lingerie store. And just one day, I talked to Lady Tammy, and we probably talked for 2 hours. And she was just asking me questions and really getting to know me. So I called Pastor one day, and I asked him, said, what would one do if they decided they wanted to switch church homes? And he gave me the process, and he was like, well, what would your pastor say? And I told him, I said I was talking to my pastor right then and there, which I had already switched church. He didn't know I switched church. And then I started listening, even when I couldn't make listen to the quotes and scriptures and the lives that he was just touching. And I feel like he was, each time that I was going to church on Sunday and Wednesday, I felt like he was talking to me. I felt like the wording was wake up. That started my healing process. Started journaling with that. And it was just, it felt good to have pastor and the first lady that just could understand. That was a phone call away. Where at 12 o'clock at night, if I felt something in my heart or felt some type of way, I could just call them and they would just talk with no problem, no nothing. So one day, lady asked me, she said, have you been baptized? I said, yes. Baptized in 2006. And my 2 kids were baptized, and the little the 2 baby ones at the time they were dedicated. But in the meantime, going forward with everything that I was dealing with, I kind of drifted. Stopped believing, stopped going, started doing things everyone else was doing. So back in 2022, I decided that I wanted to be rededicated myself to Christ. So I went through that journey, and just sitting there and listening to everything that was going on, I just kind of, I thought about it. I thought about life. I thought about the things that I was going in the path that I was going on. I felt like if I wasn't the right way, there's no way that I can help other women. If my life wasn't going in the right direction, I couldn't be a help to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I decided to rededicate myself to Christ. And sitting there, just thinking and listening and going over and watching everybody in front of me go under the water. Then when it came down to me, it took a little longer for him to rededicate me. Before I went to the water, the kids and everybody went for me. When he got to me, he paused. I forgot what scripture he said. It has been, it went on live, so I can always go back to it. He said something to me that touched my soul a little bit. And I started crying before I went. And the first thing he told me, he said, your life is just going to be fine. Just stay on path. And I just was crying for like maybe before I went up. And when I went and came back, I was still crying. He was like, it's okay. He said, you felt everything that was about to go on, everything that he said to you. You felt it. You knew the right way to go. And I think I cried for like 10, 15 minutes. And I remember everybody telling me it's going to be okay. That you were a new you. And all things were made new again. And that I was going to be a new person with a fresh start. And I did get that. I got just that. It was a good feeling.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that you renewed yourself, that the transition, of having that God's love in your heart again, and just having that spiritual growth and that spiritual awakening has really helped you to become a better you, a better person, a better mother, a better friend, a better sister, a better auntie, however we want to name it, but just a better you overall, so you can definitely, help people understand that you can get through this. I got through it, I know it ain't easy for anyone who's been through what you've been through, but, as never quit, never give up. And always know, it's lessons in your blessings. If we understand that it's lessons in your blessings, and some lessons are more strenuous than others, and some people go through a dire time in their life where they do want to give up, where they like, if God loves me so much, why? How could this happen? But one thing about a toxic person, they have demonic ways. They gonna be who they are, and they gonna show you who they are every time. But a lot of times, some people are scared to leave. Some people just love so big until they think they can change the person. But that happened way before you. That could have happened genetically. That could have happened with them growing up no father. That could have happened with them having no mother's love. Because a lot of men walk around here with no mother's love. A lot of the men are angry with their mother, and I tell people all the time that they always talk about a young lady growing with no father. A man that don't have that nurturing and that love from his mother, that's a very dangerous man. That's a very, because he have no respect. He has no compassion for women. Period. Because the first woman that ever was supposed to love him had none for him. So he goes through this life, thinking that everybody's going to treat him like his mom, and it don't be nothing that the females have done. It's just something in him that he never got seen about. He never took the time to heal. He never went to counseling. He never even asked the questions to get some answers from his mom. He just let it go. And so once people hold on to something so detrimental to their heart, because walking around with that malice in your heart, you're gonna create a lifetime of pain for yourself, but you're gonna cause somebody else some pain too. And so I'm really glad that you found a church home You got a pastor and a first lady that understands you, that you can call them anytime, that you can just really, cause I don't like mega churches, cause I don't need to talk to the associated pastor. I don't need to talk to the minister of music. I need to talk to the man or the woman that brought me the message. So it's something that I don't understand. They can go in depth with me to help me understand, to get me into my learning place, to get me in my passion of being excited, what God's about to do in my life. But if you gotta go to this person and that person, then it frustrates you, as a Christian, as a woman or a man of God, you're so frustrated that you can't talk to the person that's supposed to be leading the flock. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad that you can have that, one-on-one with them, so I can appreciate that. So we're gonna go to another break, and then we're gonna come right back with none other than warrior champion Shamika Williams.
Do you know how many people are jealous of you? And they got no idea that the gift you have, you never prayed for. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. The gift that you hold, you never asked God to give it to you. And you got folk that are fighting you, and they don't know, I don't even want this. God done put it on my life. All I can do is flow in my gift. You know you're authentically anointed when people who got more than you don't like you. And you're trying to figure out why you attacking me when I ain't got nothing. I hope y'all tap this church. God said, if they hate you at this level, what they gonna do when I elevate you to a whole nother place? This is just the beginning.
You heard what that man said. You heard what he said. Then he said, if they hate you at this level, what they gonna do when I elevate you up? This is only the beginning. That's a serious message. He said, why people hate me so much? I ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? Like, so people do that all the time, and so as far as you, it seems like you journal a lot. So it seems like you can be this author, you can be a playwright, you can be a person that write movie scripts or TV series, because you've been through a lot. So your story is a TV series, a movie, several books, and so
be a book.
Say it again.
It's actually going to be in a book. I'm in the process of that.
Okay. So what prompted you to write the book? So when did you say that I just need to share this with the world?
Well, I started a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Midst of it, a year ago, I kind of somewhat slid back into depression because it's been 3 years since my mom passed. I didn't actually physically grieve the year my mom passed. I was helping my dad. I was helping my sisters. I was getting everybody else through their life, but I wasn't getting myself through mine. So I just really started grieving. And it started the process. I had started writing, and then the grieving came from my mom. I was missing her with questions like, why did she leave? Like, I really wanted to know why she left me. I really wanted to know, like, she never told me what I was supposed to do when she left. We always made plans for her to be here forever. But when she left, it was like, dang, you ain't tell me, was I supposed to keep going? Was I supposed to stop? And I stopped.
So your mother, your heart, your best friend left you because, a lot of times, man, people, they never see themselves living without their mom. And when your best friend leave you, your confidant, your guidance, the person of reasoning leaves you, is really something that, you can't face the world without her. So, I can really, cause it was like that with my dad, but, my dad told me about a year before he passed away, he said, man, I might not be around next year. He said, this is what he told me. He said, I done had that talk with the good master, and he said, I'm tired, man. My body's tired. I'm so tired. You know, because my pops battled kidney failure for 17 years. Drove himself back and forth to dialysis. You know what I mean? He fought a long, almost 20 years. He fought a long, hard fight. You know what I mean? And and when he was tired, you know, he was tired. So you know, but I can understand. You know, even though he told me I was never prepared. So it took me. That happened about 2015. So I finally started coming to grips with it about 2020. You know what I mean? Um, but you know, I could always hear when something was going on. I can always hear conversations that me and him had. You know, about how the world is, how the world is going to become, and how people are people go through so much because they break God's covenant. You know what I mean? Like the Bible is it's a lesson plan. You know, it's life instructions, and a lot of us just fail to follow those life instructions, and you know, failing to follow those life instructions, man, we can put ourselves on a real destructive type journey. And so I'm just grateful for you and your children that you know all of y'all got y'all right mind, health, life, body, spirit, and like y'all really came together as a family because what you went through could have really took all of y'all out. And I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about mentally and emotionally. You could never want to love anybody again.
Yeah.
And you know, as far as your baby girl feel, you know, how did she feel about men after she seen all what you went through?
She doesn't look at them the same. She doesn't. I can tell from her face. I think the only man she trusts is her granddaddy.
Okay.
It's because he's never left. He's always been there. Like I said, my parents been married for. That's the only man she really ever saw. Even dealing with the situation with her. Even when I got sick, it was her. Like there was a man along when I got sick, but instead of him taking place, she took that place. My doctor's appointment, she took that place. When I had surgery, she took that place. She never really let another man come into play. I was sick or anything that was going on with me. She made sure that it was her.
Yeah. So
She
she took that role of taking care of you no matter
yeah,
what. This my mama. I'm gonna do
yeah.
this.
Even when I first got sick and was in the hospital and people were like, you know, I can come and help your mom and all this type of stuff. She was like, no. I remember her. She had lied about her age when I had surgery, so she could be the one back there. She didn't want no other person, no other man, nowhere near. Like she took it all. Like she took the place of the mama instead of the child to make sure that I was okay, make sure no one else came into play or came and got near me because I was sick. Like I had got all the way down to 109 pounds. That's how sick I was.
Mm.
She made sure nobody came in and tried to take advantage. So she took that role.
She's a protector.
Yeah. And she's still that way now. Like even when we go in the store, she looks so much like me. They can't tell the mama. They think we're sisters or friends. Really, mother and daughter.
Right. But that still gotta make you feel good as well. You know that they can't tell y'all apart and they think y'all sisters. So you know that really gotta make you feel good and you know as time goes on and you know with your nonprofit and stuff. And before we get out of here, I want you to tell people where they can find you at, give them your website and just about any up and coming projects that you may have coming up.
So I do have an event that's to be going on for October. We're creating it now. But this time here, I want it to be bigger than just going to like the domestic violence shelters. I want to get the whole community involved. So I've been working on that these past 2 days. I've been trying to get more awareness to the community. It's not a game. You know, as far as domestic goes, it can be domestic, physical, it can be verbal. People overlook the verbal part of it, but that's part of the violence too. So I want that to really just kind of gain awareness to the community. I'm hoping to do that October 17th this year. Our colors are always going to be purple, cream, and white. We do a lot for them. We do like the balloon releases, people that have lost their lives for like domestic violence. I want it to be bigger than what I normally do. And as far as my Facebook page, it's my first and last name. And then Let Love Leave is also tied to my same Facebook page. So a lot of everything that I do is tied to my whole Facebook page until I get everything separated. But that's where they can find me. I will give out my number in the chat.
No, we can just we good. Like, you don't have to do that. So if they need to email you, just drop your email and drop your website if you have one.
In the chat.
No, you can tell them on the screen if they want to. They can reach you at this right here, and you know you can have yourself or one of your people get back to them. Yeah. So if you can, so they can reach you on your website and they can subscribe to your website, right?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
And my first and last name, my Facebook page. And if you guys want to email me, it's going to be SSEXY, my first name, SHAMIKA645 @gmail.com.
Okay. And do you have a .com as well? As far as website?
Yep. That's a long website. It's
Okay.
going to be Daimondix by Dimplez at WIX.com.
Okay. Is there a website for the nonprofit as well?
Yep, that's all. Everything is attached together.
Everything is attached together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So, I wanna like personally, thank you for coming on and joining me on the Chatterbox with King Jacob and sharing your story, man. And I just want you to, stay full steam ahead on your journey. Keep on inspiring people and love yourself so you can love others. Always understand that self-love and self-awareness is a part of God's love. And so, if you can love yourself, then you can give out God's love to others. So until next time, but I would definitely be in touch with you, and because we got some work to do. Some work to do. For sure, we got some work to do. So take care of yourself, be blessed, and have a great night.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right.